I am excited to play in makeup. You guys, we have so much to try out this week. I'm not sure we can do it, but dear Lordy, we're going to try. You guys have been asking for a tutorial with this palette. This is the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox. So we're gonna hop into this. I'm thinking I wanna go through here. These tones are just speaking to me. I'm so excited. Ooh, don't forget to use code ROSE for a discount. Okay, so I want these tones to stay as cool as possible. So I'm actually gonna grab white base today. This is the Gerard Clean Canvas in the shade white. And we're just gonna hop in here. And I'm gonna start here on my lid, and I'm just gonna tap this to my brow bone. Same as every day. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to grab the smallest brush you have in your collection. This one here is a prototype, so he isn't available, but most of us have a tiny little shader brush in our collection. Just look for your tiniest brush. So I'm gonna pick up my palette. I'm gonna grab the shade here called Bold Type, and I'm gonna go on the side of the brush. Instead of going on the tip, we're gonna pick up the eyeshadow here on the side. So I'm gonna start right here at my lash line, and then from here I'm just gonna start to pack it on the outer lid here, and I'm gonna start to press it kind of above my crease. Notice that I'm gonna relax my eye now. I'm gonna pick up more of that same exact color, pack it here, and then I'm gonna start to bring it up this way. We're going to transition in a second, so don't bring it up too high at this point. And we can just take it out this way as well. The pigment is so good. So now I'm going to start here on the inner part of my eye. Notice that it's going on my lid. I'm going to shut my eye so we can make sure we press it in here. We don't have any gaps. And once again, I will relax my eye and just kind of bring it up this way, out of the fold of the eye. Now I'm going to wipe my brush. I swear, I just gave Sheila a bath, and she is 10 shades of filthy already. So now we're going to switch brushes. This one is also a prototype, but it's just a fluffy brush, but I'm going to be using the side once again. I'm going to pick up that much. That's going to be plenty. We want to start with a really small amount, and we're just going to start to tap back and forth above. So it might look like I'm going in here. I'm not. I know where I've placed that shadow, and that shadow is going to be right through here. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more and just continue to transition. I'm going to take my time with this, and we're just going to tap back and forth. This is normally, it usually takes me about a minute to do this. So I know I look crazy. If you know me, we're gonna fix it. It'll all come together. But a lot of times we want to just go right into the eyeshadow. We want to use the tip of the brush. We want to hold the brush really far here, and we want to start scratching back and forth. That's just going to kind of muddy everything. We're not going to get that beautiful transition. It's really about using the side of the brush and just tapping. And this motion and holding the brush very far back is going to just create the softest, most even transition. It took me a second to get out of that habit too. And this is actually a dress from Shop Starlow. You guys are already asking me. Don't know how you can concentrate on this when I'm out here looking like this, but I love this. I love Shop Starlow, so that's where it's from. I'm gonna grab this shade from the palette. You can see this one's more of the white and this one's a little bit more cream. And we're just gonna tap this on the highest point of our brow bone. Notice I'm still using the side of the brush. And we'll go ahead and take this all the way across, but we don't want it to be as white or cream colored through here. We want it to just be really its brightest right on the highest point. Now we're gonna grab just a touch of the black eyeshadow, and I'm gonna grab a MAC 228. This is the one I always use with black eyeshadow, that way I don't get it confused. And we're just gonna take a little bit of that. I'm gonna start very close to the lash line right here. I'm going to relax my eye, and we're just really creating dimension. So now we can shut my eye, that way we can press it through there. And then once we have it pressed there, we can just bring it up a little bit. And if you work in very small amounts with black eyeshadow, it's not scary. what happens is a lot of time we'll grab a brush this size and we'll come in here and then it will get out of control. So always just try to look for small brushes. Larger brushes, they're needed, and we've already used one and I'm showing you how, but if you're just unsure, grab a small brush. This is where we come back to the little bit larger brush, and now we're just going to start to melt that into that first transition. I'm going to pick up the black eyeshadow again, same MAC 228, and we're going to press it in here as well. Notice that I pressed it on my lid first. We'll close our eye, and then we'll press it in here. Now for the inner part, I'm not going to take it up too high because that'll just make our eye appear smaller. Okay, so here's a little pro tip. It would look very nice like this. Obviously, we still have some work to do, and I'm here to show you how to do it. But if you want to add just a little bit more depth, grab an eyeliner, a pencil eyeliner. This one's my favorite from Makeup by Mario. And just pull that through here. That's really going to add that depth into the black shadow. And then you can just use the back of this brush and just kind of work it in here. And this one will set. We're finally getting to the fun part. So we're going to take our same brush. I didn't add anything. I'm just kind of tapping through the center. This is the brush that we applied the clean canvas with. So we're just kind of tapping that in and making sure we didn't bring it too far over. And we're also discovering that my face is so far from symmetrical. So now we're going to grab the shade Sediment to Be, and I switched over to a Scott Barnes 63. I've lost it. There it is. The shade right here. And I'm just going to pick it up on the side of the brush. And I'm just going to press and pull. And I'm kind of just going to pull to the side. Once I kind of press it into the base, I can just kind of pull. But remember, I'm pulling very lightly. In fact, I'm going to hold my brush a little farther back. And just kind of continue to feather this. And when I say feather, I'm just going very, very lightly pulling. Okay, so here's another tip for halo eyes. Instead of just kind of feathering this over this way, I'm going to grab this darkest brown here on the side of this little brush, and we're just going to press that in between the black and the shimmer, because you even have to think transition here. A lot of times we just think transition and we think about that being through our crease, but transitions really help everywhere. So we're just going to press it on either side. Now I'm going to grab one more shade. I'm going to grab this one. It's called I Dig It. And we're going to grab it on the side of the brush. And right through the center, we're going to press this eyeshadow. And I'm going to feather it to about right there. That is the spice. Now I'm going to take a little bit of micellar water here on this brush. Just a little short, very dense brush. And we're just going to lightly clean up. And as we're doing this, we're also kind of tapping in any extreme excess white base. We still have to put foundation through here as well, but I'm just kind of doing an initial cleanup. I also want to mention a lot of times we steer away from cool tones because cool tones are not very flattering until the foundation, the concealer, everything is on. They do make the skin look very sallow. Even right now as I'm looking in the mirror, it's not my favorite. If it was warm, I would already be feeling myself. I'd be like, oh yeah. But cool tones are beautiful. You just have to stick with them. Just commit, and you just gotta wait till the end. Now we're gonna grab our same Mario pencil and we'll just kind of run a line across here. Okay, through the center of my face, I'm gonna grab my Illamasqua. This is the Matte Veil Primer in my cute little thing here. There it is. Love this one. This is my favorite mattifying primer. My second favorite is actually drugstore. It's the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer, but this one just takes the cake. It's so nice. And I'm going to apply this with my Anisa All Over Care brush. Swipe up to get the brush. So I have my lashes here. They are dry enough, or I should say tacky enough to apply. These are ColourPop lashes in the style Bay. Please don't make me say that word again. I love you. I don't want to say it. Wow, I haven't worn these big old caterpillars in a minute. Woo! They feel huge. Were they always this huge? Have we not been wearing lashes? What have we been doing? I know it cracks me up. So obviously I can see who watches my story, and I won't say who, but there are people in this industry that are very important to me that watch my story. And I'm out here screaming caterpillars on my eyes. Why do y'all let me act like this? Super excited to tell you about my Melanie Mills bundle here. You guys can just swipe up to get it. I'm going to be using all 3 of these today. And I'm going to do a little bit of pre-bronzing and pre-highlighting. So we're going to start with Opalescence. I love this one. So instead of just explaining it, let's just walk through it. I'm such a visual person. People can explain things over and over again, and unless I'm seeing it and how it's working and what it's doing and if it's working, I'm not interested. So here we have the shade Opalescence. This is going to be our highlight shade, and I'm just going to do this underneath my foundation. You can already see it right there. Beautiful. And all we need is a nice, even, thin layer, and I'm just grabbing a synthetic brush, any kind of brush. We don't have to be too precise because we're still going to put foundation on top, but we do want to kind of place it on the high points of the face. We're not going to go through the center of the face though. Now let's hop over to Rose Gold. Now we're going to take the shade Rose Gold. There are several shades, but these are the ones that I love and use the most. This is also from Melanie Mills' beautiful mixing plate. And we'll just go ahead and take this anywhere we would normally bronze. And definitely just the outer perimeter. You can see I've taken it through here. We'll do this side. And just kind of work it in. It's kind of like a pre-bronze. But if you guys want to get the bundle, just go ahead and swipe up. We'll use this in a little while. This is the setting spray that I've been using. So if you guys want to support me, swipe up. So I scooped a little bit of my Chantecaille Future Skin Foundation. I'm going to wear the shade Vanilla today. And I'm just going to pick this up on this little brush and just place it. This is just a little concealer brush. I'm literally just placing it and place it here. And the nose. And we are going to cover up initially our highlight and our bronzer, but it's still going to be there. So I'm going to press this in. This is my Anissa Pinnacle foundation brush. Ooh, that foundation's pretty. I haven't used this one in a long time. So just work it in. So I just wanted to show you. So we'll just go around it. You can still see everything peeking through so beautifully. I mean, look at that highlight coming through. No texture here. Now we're going to take the tiniest amount of foundation. I'm going to have to show you. This is going to get out of control. So we're going to take this much. This is a really good way to demonstrate, by the way. And then I'm going to dab right there because that's how little I actually use. And we're going to start to tap through here. This is going to get rid of all of that white base, but still keep it nice and cool toned. We'll even take a little across here and we'll tap it in through here. This is the best thing for making sure everything is nice and seamless. So I've already kind of went wild with frames, so I'm going to finish my concealer and my powder. I'll come back and we'll finish bronzing. I don't want to run out of frames. It gives me 100 frames, and I went so in depth with the eye today, and I still want to finish under here, so I don't want to go over. Be right back. Okay, really fast. This is technically before concealer. A lot of times when we wear the cool tones, it can really bring out the darkness underneath our eyes. So even if you normally don't wear a peach or an orange corrector, now is the time. And when I'm saying the smallest amount, just grab a brush, go right in. This one's one of my faves. It's from Cover FX. And we'll just tap this. And we're only going to tap it where I feel that the cool tones have pulled the most blue undertones from underneath my eyes. All right, look what I got in the Sephora sale. I got the shade 02, and I've already bronzed a little bit with it. Remember, I'm filming an IGTV as I'm doing this, but it is so pigmented, I'm barely tapping. It does have a little bit of a perfume smell, which I don't mind, but I just want to make sure you guys know that it is scented, as most high-end makeup is. I'm going to go around my nose, just lightly bronze my nose up a little bit. And definitely underneath here. I'm kind of impressed. This is beautiful. And then even though our makeup is set, we're even using powder bronzer, I'm going to grab my foundation brush and I'm just going to press this in. It just gives you that airbrush finish. Make sure we don't have any gaps. It makes a major difference. All right, we're going to grab this gorgeous ColourPop blush. It's in the shade Vogue. This is from one of their newest collections. So I'm just gonna press this here. I grabbed this pink because it's a little more cool toned. The other two were a little too peachy. Oh, that's... I'm gonna go ahead and grab the setting spray from my bundle. This has such a fine mist. A lot of times I do not like setting sprays because when you go to spray them, you'll get little droplets. This is such a fine mist. Swipe up. So let's finish up the eyes. I'm gonna grab the Mario Brightening Eye Pencil and I'm just gonna apply this right through the center. Now we're gonna grab the black eye pencil that we used earlier and we're just gonna go through here and through here. And then to make sure we don't get out of control, a lot of times we want to come from under here, but that's going to get out of control really fast. There's no other way. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of just pressing it here in my lashes, and then I'll take this brush and just kind of smooth it back and forth. And we'll connect it to our top lash line here. Still worried about these caterpillars. And another reason I wanted to use this pencil is this is really going to ensure that we don't have any fallout. Since we already have our concealer done, we're gonna have a lot more control. This is some spice, okay? This is a 900 slide tutorial today, but I want you guys to know everything. So what I'm doing is I'm using a little bit of that base that's left on here and just kind of pushing it through the center. Back into the first shade that we used, the shimmer. We'll just apply it right through the center, just like we did on the top part. I want to do a cool toned mauve-y lip. So I'm starting with this Sorbet lip liner. Oh, I'm throwing things. It's in the shade Tease. Don't forget code ROSE for a discount. So this is still just that Sorbet lip liner in the shade Tease. I kind of just worked it in all over my lip. It's such a pretty color by itself that I kind of just want to put a gloss on top. So I'm going to grab this gloss. This is from Lawless. It's in the shade Babe. And I actually love this gloss. That's it. Now we'll grab the shade that we put in the center. That's the shade I Dig It. And we'll just make this our inner corner. Alright, here we go. We're done. I hope you guys learned something. Did you learn anything? Am I being helpful? I want to be helpful. I filmed an IGTV, so I'll be posting that with all of the makeup details later. You can always reference this. I always upload and save to my highlights. So my saved highlights, there's a ton of tutorials if you want to check those out. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Get ready for a bunch of new makeup this week. There's a ton, and we gotta use it. I love you all so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.